What is up, YouTube? KM888 here, and today I'm here for you guys with another deck profile. Now, lately I've kind of been struggling to which build I should be using for Pendulum. I have I think 30 different builds on my Dueling Book account right now. Just like testing out different ratios, different cards, and to be honest, like some hand traps kills every single one of those decks, and I'm kind of quite fed up with that. So right now I've managed to make a build that just focuses on having card advantage, because card advantage in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is actually the most important thing. You make your board, you still have a lot of card advantage, and even if they break your board, you'll be able to manage a comeback. And that's actually the main reason that I wanted to make the deck like this, but it's not really finished yet. Now, the thing why I'm showing it right now is I'm already hearing speculations here and there, because I'm testing with this online and people are finding out. It's actually kind of distressing because I want to be the first to come out with this, but already with a good deck build. And at the moment, like, the deck build is 49 cards. That might seem a lot, but at the moment it isn't, because I am playing like so many draw spells that just get you closer into the deck. And when I'm playing with it online, testing against friends, stuff like that, like turn 1, if I see a regular opening hand, I'll end on a deck with maybe 20 cards just around, which means you go to like the biggest portion of the deck, and it's actually kind of awesome. You'll be building your hands like immensely, and that's actually really fun to do. Now, as I said before, like, the deck hasn't been finished yet. I still need to do tweaks on it. I am testing. I'm trying to get it better, but I just already want to show you why I'm running this. So I'm just gonna go into the deck profile because that's the most fun for you guys. So yeah, first things first, triple chronograph. You just cannot cut this with, of course, the Time Gazer Magician. Now, in this build, because I try to work up advantage, I want to see as little magicians as possible, because the magicians don't really get you advantage, bar a few things. So I'm only playing 4 other magician cards, and they're all different. So there's Harmonizing, Purple, Oath, and Dragon Pit. The reason I'm playing these is, well, you can search them all with Pendulum Call still, because I do run Pendulum Call. And they all have their own use in this. I'm still gonna put Time Gazer among these, because it often happens that I just search Time Gazer anyways. This, like, the Harmonizing generates advantage when you Pendulum Summon it. The Oath Dragon generates advantage if you have another Magician in scale, you can go from there. And the Dragon Pit can clear back row, which is really important. Then there's the Purple Poison, which is actually the best magician around there, because it outs Floodgates, it outs so many things, and giving your Dark Spellcaster 1200 attack is also no small feat, so it's actually really good. I do feel you still need the magicians, but in some kind of builds you just need them rather a few amounts than a big amount, so yeah. That's already it for the magicians. So it's like there's only 5 magicians, which is actually crazy, because I'm used to running way more. But in other builds I play more, so it's not really that kind of a problem for me right now. The Endymion engine is rather big, on the other hand, because I'm running a lot of spell cards. So 3 servants. I'm playing the 1 Magister, because the goal of the deck right now is to draw as many cards as you can, and you're gonna go through all of your Endymion cards like crazy, like the first turn, because you're using them to generate advantage rather than Pendulum Summoning. You will use your Pendulum Summon, of course, like every turn, but you're not reliant on the Pendulum Summon, and that's actually what makes the deck really good, because if you get hand trapped and you get stopped, you can still play. So 1 Reflection, as I said, you're going to use them all. You're going to use this, summon something from your hand as well. And then there's the Big Daddy Endymion. I really like to play 2 of this, because I'm still running Desires, of course, and banishing this is actually kind of sad. You also sometimes want to special summon it from the Servant, but you still want to have one to blow up the opponent's board when you go, like, in the turn after, but in general, like, 1 is fine, you can play with it. If they use a spell, it just bounce itself, and then you already have it. But I feel like you need this at the very least right now. Reflection is also really good to bounce opponents' monsters or floodgates. Things like Dingirsu, Sunlight Wolf, Thunder Dragon Colossus, they all come up, and bouncing them is actually really good, so yeah. Then for the Mythical Beasts, I'm running 2 Mythical Beast Jackal Kings, because Nibiru is still a thing. Hand traps get cleared by this, they just get stopped. Like, you summon this to prevent the opponent from using hand traps. So most of the time they're like, you summon this and they're like, ah, shit, I had a Veiler and haven't used it already, and now I can't anymore. They have it in Girsu and you're like, haha, you can't use it. Well, they can, but it'll get negated. So yeah. The one of Cerberus, the best play with this is to summon it from the servant, just start banishing the opponent's monsters. The nice thing about Cerberus is that it isn't once per turn. For the card name, it's like, if you banish a monster and you link it off and then you get to summon it again by any means, you can just use it again. So that's actually a thing. And the one Garuda, because you can search it with the Cerberus if need be. It happens a lot, like especially against decks like Salamangreat, where you are specifically going to search this, because stopping the normal summon more than often stops the entire turn, so that's actually a thing. But that's it for the cards that you can put spell counters on. The one thing I am actually considering is Magical Abductor. But the thing that's withholding me from it is that it's a scale 3, which means you can't Pendulum Summon the Time Gazer, and sometimes it actually comes up because you want to Pendulum Summon Time Gazer along with Harmonizing, so you can go into a level 7 Synchro play. And sometimes that actually kinda conflicts, but I still think Abductor might be an option for this build especially, so yeah, you're going to see that. For the Dragon Engine, I'm playing 2 Dark Worms, Gate Zero, and Destrudo. At this point, I'm still not running the Guard Dragon Engine. That might actually change, because the only thing I am actually considering is to run 1 LP and the Heretic Sphere. Just so you can get to the Destrudo faster, and then use the LP with a hopefully so use a Skull Dread that's in the extra zone to go for Heretic Seal. That's actually the only play that I want to include, maybe, and I'm not even sure of that. So how the deck is running right now is actually kind of decent already. It's really fine. You don't always need that anyway, so the smaller package is actually more, so yeah. And then the final 2 monsters of the main deck. Double Spellbook, Magician of Prophecy. I really like these. It's a small engine. I know it's been coming up a lot lately, but having this with the Servant already basically will give you a 3 counters, so you can go for the Jackal King. You can go normal summon this, and if they don't ash this effect, oh my god, I can't pick up the card. So if they don't ash the normal summons effect, you basically know that they don't have ash, because stopping, well, they can try to ash knowledge, but then you'll be accumulating your spell counters, so they want to ash this, so you don't get 2 spell counters on your Servant. So if you have Servant, you summon this, they don't ash this, they'll probably don't have the ash, so that's actually a thing. And then drawing 2 cards, getting rid of this card actually means that your main monster zone is free again to do things like the Dark Worm from the graveyard. So you can still draw into Shrine and be good from there on out, so yeah. But yeah, that's it for the monsters. To round off the Spellbook engine, we are of course playing the double Spellbook of Secrets. I only have 1 ulti, apologies for that. I am searching for like all the max rarity stuff, but to be honest, I'm already glad that I have like most of the cards, so yeah. And 2 Spellbook of Knowledge. As I said, I am playing Desires, banishing 1 of each. I don't care about, but banishing, like, if you're only playing 1 knowledge, you're going to banish it from Desires, and then you're like, oh my god, why did this happen? And you really don't want that, so yeah, that's the Spellbook engine. To help that Dragon engine, of course, we're playing the double Dragon Shrine and Foolish. Yeah, just general card. I like it. I don't want to play 3 Shrine because you're just gonna brick on it. I might put in a Ravine with the Romulus, but I really don't feel like it's just adding another brick. I feel because you want to give yourself advantage, and already discarding to dump a Dark Worm or Destrudo is actually only going to neg you in the long run. So yeah, I'm not really that fond of it, but I might have to test it. To help the Endymion engine, we're going to run triple spell power mastery. No field spell. As I said, on its own, it doesn't do a thing, and you're going to accumulate enough spell counters as it is, so you don't need it. So the triple mastery is enough. To help the Magician engine, 2 Pendulum Call, 1 Duelist Alliance, basically again 3 cards. If you see 1, it's actually fine. So yeah, you do have to watch out for Pendulum Call because you are only running 5 Magicians. There are 5 different ones, so as long as you're not drawing all of them, it's fine. And then there's like a card that I'm running my extra deck, so you can actually manipulate your deck a little bit. So you just Skull Dread. So you can put back the cards that you don't need, and then you can Pendulum Call them back again. So it's always a thing. And then the rest of the deck is actually more draw power to thin the deck out, and you're going to see that it's crazy. Triple Pot of Desires. It's a +1. You don't need to say more. Play at 3. Double Allure of Darkness. I'm not playing 3 because I'm not running that many darks, but you're always finding a way to get to a dark, so double Allure is still fine. And then the 1 Upstart Goblin, because it's Upstart Goblin. I know, it's 49 cards with Upstart Goblin. It's easy siding out Upstart Goblin, so that's always a thing. And it accumulates spell counter still. It's a good card you can banish from Desires. It has its purposes even in a 49 card deck. But as I'm saying, like, the deck isn't finished. You might have to cut some cards still, bring it down a little bit. But at the moment, it's actually working out, so you just have to try it. And then, like, the sauce of the deck. Triple Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. This card, when used in tandem with all the draw power that you have, the Shrines, the Pendulum Calls, the Dual Assign, I'm always going to go over this, like with 3 spells in my graveyard. Drawing an extra card, giving you a plus, and to be honest, I don't care. Like if I have a main a card in my main monster zone, I just link it off, make your Appaloosa, then go for this again. Make a Saryuja, go for this again. It's so easy to be honest. Like in testing, I've resolved like. If you see an engage, you resolve it like 2-3 times in your first turn, always with the draws. You're gonna go plus so much. Don't knock it till you tried it. With the spellbook engine, if you see that along with this, you already have a draw from engage at the very least, because of course you're playing the Hornet drones, and you can go Blue Boy, Secrets, Knowledge. That's 2 spells. Engage, get the Hornet drones. Hornet drones for Kagari. Kagari get back engage. At that point you have the 3rd spell already engraved. So at the very minimum, with that engine, you're going to have 1 draw additional. So it's a +2 because you also get a monster. And then with the knowledge, that's also a +1. So you're already going +3 just from that. And that's just crazy. So yeah, triple engage. And then for the targets, I'm not only playing the Hornet drones. Because as I said, originally I was only playing Hornet drones and 1 other card, and that's this. Sky Striker Mobilize Multi-Roll. The reason for that is you can do so many things with multi-roll. First things first, this card doesn't matter if you have a monster in your main monster zone. Doesn't care about that at all. So you can still activate it and it stays on the field, so you can still pop it with things like Electromite. Second purpose, you use Master Cerberus and they ash it. It's stuck in your scale. You can send it away with the multi-roll if you happen to have it, or you can just search through it and engage them. It's actually a way to ensure your place from there on out. Also, they can't respond to any of your spell cards from there on out. So you can go Pendulum Call, Desires, without having the fear to, yeah, I'm not gonna say be ashed again after the Cerberus, but in general, if you use its effect, you can't be ashed again afterwards. Also, Pendulum, what happens often is, and most players know this for Pendulum, you use Pendulum Call, you get your Magicians, and now you can't pop them with Electromite because they can't be destroyed, Electromite destroys them, and you can't get your draw. Multi-roll effect, send away your Magician, draw a card. It doesn't destroy multi-roll, it just sends it away, which means that you can still draw a card from Electromite, which is actually crucial in some points. So yeah. And then the final thing about only running 2, I often went Engage, get Hornet Drones, get back Engage from Kagari, add multi-roll, and then with either so use a Skull Dread or just plain luck, you draw a second Engage. Now you don't have a target anymore and it's a dead card. I really didn't like that, and I opted to go for a Eagle Booster. On top of it, I am playing a 49 card deck, so the chances of you seeing this, one of them, is just as big as seeing one of these, to be fair. But you don't really mind drawing any of these at all, because if you go Electromite and you don't have anything to protect it, and they go Impermanence, you can Eagle Booster to protect it, which is so crazy. It's really good. If you have this, you can make Saryuja Skuldred without any fears of being ashed or veilered or impermanence because you can just protect it. Draw 4, put something back, maybe put any of these back, use Engage again. So stuff like that, and it's actually a really good synergy. So yeah, that's it for the main deck. One thing that I have to say about the Engages, it makes sure that in your side deck you can actually play more Sky Striker cards. I'm only playing these 3 because they have good synergy with the deck. For going first or going second in game 1, it doesn't matter. You have these 3 and they will help. But after siding against certain decks, like against Orcust, you might want to side in a... what's the card called? The Shark Cannon. Just banish their Orcus in the graveyard against Salamangreat, stuff like that. You can side in Widow Anchors for also against Orcus because you can steal their IP Masquerena, stuff like that, so they can't actually use the topologic combination against you. And that's all really good plays. And of course against back row decks you have Jamming Wave, stuff like that. It's really easy siding when you have Engages in the deck because that's just so many more targets for you to draw and search, so it's really good. Extra deck, token for the Engage, for the Hornet Drones. I don't have a Sky Striker token, but I just have a token, so it's good enough. And then, of course, Vortex, Absolute, and Meteor Burst. I still like Meteor Burst. It often is my way to go into Absolute and then into Vortex. Having so much hand advantage, you don't really care about your scales, because you can just put them up later again, and if you don't have scales, the opponent can't use them, so yeah. For more Exceeds and Synchros, I'd like to end on Dweller or Draxa, because the Dweller is good against Orcus, against Salamangreat, and the Draxer protects your field from things like Mind Control at the very least, so or like Evenly Matched, stuff like that, and it's actually really good to have these. And then all the rest of the extra deck are actually Link monsters, so I'm gonna put these 5 away. First things first, Electromite, Standard Bay. At the moment this is a beat cup. I went through everything that I have, all my binders, all my loose cards. I don't have a Hida. So the Link 2, Hida, Fire Charmer Ablaze, I think it's called. I don't have that. I don't have the rare, I don't have the super. It's crazy because I opened like immense packs after tournaments. So yeah, I don't have that card, so I have to find it. I hope any of my friends will have it, else I have to buy it somewhere. But yeah, so this is supposed to be a Hida. Reason for it, I'll explain after showing the extra deck. IP Masquerena, I'm still looking for the prismatic, but it's crazy expensive at the moment, so yeah, I'm not doing that until I find something cheaper. And to cooperate with the IP Masquerena, of course, the two Nightmares, Phoenix and Unicorn. These cards are really good to interrupt your opponent during their turn, so that's actually really nice. And then we have the Blackluster Soldier Link, because this card is just crazy against control-based decks. Appaloosa, it's part of your combo, you're gonna make this every game. If you don't make it, you have the Masquerena to go into it during your opponent's turn. Apologies, my throat is a little bit dry. But this card is just amazing. Skull Dread, most of the time you're gonna go into it as well. Just refreshing your hands, putting back the bricks is really good. Boral Sword for OTKs during the next turn. It's one of the best cards, so yeah. And Kagari. Of course, for the Hornet Rose. Now, the reason why you want Hita is if you go Kagari, you don't have anything else. Like, imagine you go through all your plays, the opponent negates everything. Ash Blossom, Veiler, you name it. Eventually, you'll reach the point that you're going to reveal the engage. Add Hornet Drones. Special summon the token, go into Kagari. Kagari, add back the Hornet Drones. Use it again. Link 2 into the Hita. Hita is then going to special summon the Ash Blossom from the opponent. And then you can go into a Link 3 already. So that's actually already really good. If you have any other normal summon, you can just go into a Link 4, which is just amazing. You can go into Soryu's Skuldred, you can go into Appaloosa, you can use the 3 to go into the BLS Link, which won't be that great at that point. But it just gives so many options. So I really want the Hita to be in place of the Beat Cup. But yeah, I mean, as soon as I get it, I get it. So, yeah. That's it for the extra deck. Side deck, I'm not really going to show right now because I'm still working on that as well. But the general idea is like the same as always, so don't worry about it. I'd say it's still Lancias, it's still the evenly matches. I want to be playing like I've talked about the Sky Striker cards like Shark Cannon, Jamming Wave, Widow Anchor. I want to include those. And then like maybe 2 Cosmics, 2 System Downs versus Orcus, and 2 Impermanences. Just because you can draw these going second as a 6 card or during your combo and still good. So yeah, that's a thing. But then like this and the Sky Striker cards is going to be my side probably, but I'm still debating on ratios and stuff. But yeah, that's it for the deck profile. I hope you guys liked it. As I said, Sky Striker, I think it's actually really good in Pendulum right now, and yeah, I hope you guys agree with me. It's really awkward sometimes, but you just have to learn and play around it. I'm going to do some combo videos where I'll show off the combos with Engage and me drawing it and then just going off, so you can see how it works. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Ciao.